Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and I just got back from the new film Drive Angry 3D. Nicolas Cage plays this guy who's come back from hell to stop this cult from sacrificing his daughter's baby, which I guess would be his granddaughter. And so he comes back, shooting and blazing. The devil sends somebody after him, called the accountant, to get him back while he is chasing this satanic cult. And then this girl comes along with him, played by Amber Heard, after she gets rid of her loser boyfriend. This film really does go for it. It's some of the best 3D I've seen. I haven't seen that many 3D films that I thought the 3D was worth it, and I thought the 3D was pretty awesome, especially at the beginning, and like he's almost always pointing his gun at the camera and bullets are like shooting right at you. This is kind of, I guess, a newer trend of Hollywood purposefully making B movies as kind of like an ironic joke. I think the problem with this film, and kind of a lot of these films, I feel like what ends up happening is there's certainly cult and B influences in it, but when you have too much money, it doesn't look authentic and they never shoot it authentically. To me, it just feels like this is a Hollywood version of a B cult movie. I have mixed feelings about that because I have seen quite a few cult films and I like cult cinema. At the beginning, it's really, I think it's a lot of fun and just like explosions and shooting and stuff flying at you in 3D, and it really like doesn't really give a shit. It just wants to be like a really stupid B movie, and I think it succeeds, especially the first act. But then towards the end of the second act, it gets kind of saggy. I thought the pacing didn't really work. I think this film suffers from something that happens quite a bit in more recent films, overt exposition that really could have been done in maybe a voiceover at the beginning, or I don't know, just something very quickly that we'd all be like, yeah, so I know that, whatever. And this film kind of like drags it out too much. One of the things about the road films that this film is influenced by, like Duel, Vanishing Point, Ride with the Devil, a bit of existentialism, and there's kind of like an aura of the unknown. And this film never ventured into that. And I think this film could have really benefited from going into that. It had this great B sense to it, even though it's like a Hollywood film that's doing a B cult movie. It had a good sense of that with it, but it just didn't know where to take it. It went on Hollywood autopilot almost in the third act, which I didn't like that as much. It needed to bombard me a little bit more. You know, it just was a little too concerned with this stupid plot. I didn't really want to know the cult leader. Like, that was unnecessary. My biggest problem with modern Hollywood is tone it down. Like, why do we have to have all these people? So, like, I mean, I understand we're in a recession, you want to give people jobs, but, like, you know, maybe that's not such a good idea sometimes. Maybe just, like, scale back the characters, because I thought that was kind of the problem with this movie. I would have liked some more ambivalence from it that it certainly wasn't going to bring me. You don't just get to become Mad Max in Vanishing Point, alright? You have to be Mad Max in Vanishing Point. And this movie, I know it's its own film, and I get that, but I think it needed a little bit more of that 70s attitude to really sell it. So if you've seen Drive Angry 3D and you would like to talk about it, comment below, down there, and subscribe if you would like to. Look, it's a 3D cat! I'm sorry. And that's Drive Angry.